So I'm just kind of sauntering along this this busy street in Mexico City, in the historic center, and it's not too far from my Airbnb. Now my Uber driver was actually daring enough to take this course yesterday, and you can imagine that the pedestrians probably have a complete disregard and indifference for the automobiles trying to pass through. I mean, the amount of business and commerce that takes place here is absolutely staggering. Now, the name of this street is called República de Colombia. And I think you can find pretty much everything from hand lotion to kids' toys, to auto parts, to chainsaws. I mean, you can find absolutely everything. Take a little detour here.
Con esas aguas se vuelve a enamorar.
Now walking through here, I mean, you can probably imagine that being the so-called gringo tourist and filming with the cell phone at the same time, and I kind of feel like a three-eyed fish that's crept out of the water and into the backyard of the cat lady. Really kind of feel out of place. But it's definitely a fun place to take a walk down. And I can tell you, if you want to eat cheap, I mean, this is the place to come to. And I asked the Uber driver yesterday if it was like this every day, or if it's just like this because, the holidays are on the way. He said it's like this every day. Well, yeah, I'm not going to spend the entire time walking down this street. I mean, this area is a pretty long stretch, and I got other things I got to get to.
Tengo pizarrones baratos.
So the last time I was in Mexico City, I happened to be walking past this little church just by chance. And, in all my travels, I've kind of become burnt out on museums and churches. But noting the obvious contrast with the buildings beside it, I went ahead and I let this one pull me inside. And I read a little bit about this church, that it's roughly 300 years old, and there's this legendary miracle that goes along with it. And back in the 18th century, there used to be this landowner. His name was Andueza, and after a day of a lot of work, after a long day, he would go in there and he would pray at the statue of Christ and kiss its feet. Well, Andueza also had this rival. He also had this rival and competitor, and Andueza did not know just how much this rival disliked him. And in order to erase Andueza from standing in his way on his journey to success, he went ahead and he poisoned the feet of the statue. And the next time that Andueza went to kiss the statue of Christ, went to kiss the feet of the statue, apparently the statue began to sweat profusely and it shifted its feet. Well, inevitably, and startled as Andueza was, he didn't kiss the feet of the statue. Therefore, he was spared. anyways, it can be a real nice little church just to go inside and sit in there and enjoy the ambience. If you just wanted to sit down and take a break, perfect place to do it. It's just a really nice feeling in there. Anyways, it's not the most famous church that I've been in, and I've been to some of the most famous ones, especially in Italy and in Europe. But you know what? This little church, it's one of my favorites. So you have these guys here still practicing Aztec culture. And they have this way of using smoke and incense and herbs. And they blow this horn in order to cleanse the body of evil spirits and negative energy. I think it's also a pretty good way to shake some change in the pockets of passing tourists. I've smelled that smoke only once before, and it's a smell you never forget. It's very nostalgic and invigorating. I wish I could have some of that incense and take it home with me. I remember doing that last year, them performing that whole ensemble on me. I think it cost something like, back then, like 70 pesos, which is something like $3.50. Now here we are in the Zocalo, or the Plaza de la Constitución. And this has roots going all the way back to Aztec times. And back then it was used as a place to congregate, a place for parades, a place for ceremonies and the like. And it's still used for that same purpose to this day. Now it's also used as a place for protests and demonstrations. I remember when I was here last year, they had what seemed to be a couple of hundred little tents pitched up in this fenced-off area in the middle of the square with people in the tents overnight. I think that went on for a couple of months, and that was in protest of the president. Then we have this enormous, illustrious Mexican flag hanging up over the square. It's so big, I don't think you'd ever get a wind strong enough to flatten it out and put it on full display. They also have some very nice Christmas decorations pinned up on the surrounding buildings. I like that. Nice place to come and spend the afternoon or the evening. There goes the pizza man. I think he has pizzas not just for people who have already ordered them, but he's asking people if they actually want to buy a pizza on the spot. Nice lively place, not just on the weekend, but on a weekday like today too. So I'm in this square here, Plaza de Santo Domingo, and it's not too far away from my Airbnb. I gotta say, this little square feels a lot more quaint than the Zocalo, where I was at previously. You got some locals kind of loitering and milling about. The building's kind of worn down. You got a fountain over here working in full force. You jump in there on a hot day and, you know, get a water massage. It's kind of like a jacuzzi or a whirlpool. Much more realistic and authentic little place. Might even have some bandits and pimps and thieves lurking about in the shadows. My kind of place. We got this rather majestic church here. Am I going to go inside? No, I'm not. You'll have to come to Mexico City and go in and see it for yourself if you're curious. Like I've said before, you know, I've seen so many museums and churches that I don't want to spend too much time in there. Unless I really need a break, then I'll go inside and sit down on one of the benches, or the pews, as I believe they're called. I guess they do some sort of imprinting here. But you know, I didn't leave my apartment this morning with the intent of doing any filming. What I wanted to do was to go out and find something simple for breakfast. Like often I'll have just like a smoothie or a cup of mixed fruit, and that's it. You know, just something to kind of hold me over until lunchtime. And the first thing I did was walk to that place where they got that crowded street with all the vendors, everybody buying and selling, where, you know, I said apparently you can find anything there. Well, you know, that doesn't seem to be the case, because this morning I couldn't find a cup of mixed fruit. And yesterday I did, though. I have to say, yesterday I did find a lady who sold mixed fruit, but she wasn't there today. So, you know, I've been walking and walking this morning, I can't find a cup of mixed fruit. I mean, you can find all kinds of places to eat. You can find tacos here, tacos there, tacos everywhere. You can find tortas, all kinds of cooked food, but you can't find a cup of mixed fruit. It's like if I don't get my cup of mixed fruit really soon, I'm going to have a nervous breakdown and start ticking and pouting on the ground like a little kid. I mean, as long as I've been walking looking for some fruit, I have to find some really soon, I think. I think I'm headed back towards that maze of chaotic streets. Actually, I think they're just getting ready to set up here in the morning. And of course, a lot of them are already set up. And we might have some right up here. No, not exactly. Not what I'm looking for. More hot food, more. You can get a meal, but you can't get some fruit. Orange juice, grapefruit juice, whatever. No mixed fruit. You can't find it. So they have this double-decker tour bus service run through this entity called Touribus. And it's a pretty good way to see different landmarks in different neighborhoods along the way. And it's got all these stops on its route, which you can hop on and hop off. But with that in mind, you might be waiting 5, 10, 30 minutes, 45 minutes before the next bus comes along. So, that aside, when you buy your ticket, they give you a receipt, and they give you this bracelet to put around your wrist, which you want to hold on to. But after you go through all that, you're free to use the service. You're free to use the service for the rest of the day until the service ends. But yeah, if your feet are worn out from walking around the city every day, and you feel you need a break, you can hop on this bus and just let the bus do all the work. I mean, you get to sit up here, kind of like you're royalty, like you're a noble in its golden chariot, while all the pedestrians are walking around outside, walking feverishly to get to the destination. You can kind of yell outside the bus, "Back to work, lowly peasants. Bring me my slippers." But yeah, let the bus do all the work. And it doesn't cost much money. It costs like 170 pesos, which is something like $8 or $9. So it's definitely worth the price.
sociedad mexicana a lo largo de la historia. A la derecha se encuentra el Hotel Cortés, el cual ha sido posada desde hace casi 4 siglos. Se dice que un dato importante es que es la única iglesia de la ciudad que ofrece misa para sus miembros.
Estamos entrando al Paseo de la Reforma.
Art Deco y fue inaugurado en 1945. Estamos llegando al Monumento a la Revolución. Fue ubicado estando la estructura de lo que sería el Palacio Legislativo, pero el estallido de la Revolución Mexicana frenó su construcción. Carranza, Pancho Villa, Francisco y una de las más famosas del mundo. Tiene un gran significado social debido a su historia y a los hermosos monumentos que componen la leyenda. Que toman esta avenida como vía para llegar al Zócalo, por lo que en algunas ocasiones está cerrada al tránsito vehicular. La columna mide 42 metros y sostiene la victoria, una escultura hueca de bronce revestida con once de oro de 24 quilates. En las esquinas de la Barra de México, donde no puede faltar la foto del recuerdo para 15 años, bodas y graduaciones. También se ha convertido en un punto obligado de la Unión para celebraciones de cualquier tipo de triunfo nacional que se obtenga en el deporte.
Monumento a la Independencia, dirección Chapultepec. Parada Monumento a la Independencia, dirección Chapultepec. Al descender del Tumbús podrás encontrar Monumento a la Independencia, Embajada de Estados Unidos, Paseo de la Reforma, Zona de Comercios, Restaurantes y Hoteles. En esta parada se hace conexión con el Circuito Sur. En esta parada se hace conexión con el circuito sur. Las personas que deseen realizarlo tendrán que descender en este punto. En esta parada se hace conexión con el circuito sur.
Inaugurada en 1964. Cuenta con un área de 44.000 Estamos llegando al Auditorio Nacional, uno de los más reconocidos centros de espectáculos de México. Fue inaugurado en 1957 y remodelado en 1969 para lucir tal y como se encuentra ahora. Tiene capacidad para 10.000 espectadores en 1968. Se considera uno de los casinos de los países. Este precioso edificio es el más alto de la ciudad, con 246.4 metros de altura y 57 pisos. Consideró una escultura república y le fue soldada una especie de placa de metal, la cual vistió por 25 años. Hoy en día descansa tranquila como un hermoso emblema más de la Ciudad de México.
Tiene que celebrar el cumpleaños de la Virgen de Guadalupe.
enorme. Con 12 toneladas de peso y 5.5 metros de altura, representa a la diosa Cibele, hija de la tierra y del cielo. Trae consigo una llave que simboliza su poder sobre la tierra y las estaciones del año. Y bajo mencionó a los leones. Los leones representan a los personajes mitológicos Hipómenes y Atalanta. Actualmente hay alrededor de 40.000 españoles que radican en la ciudad. Y aquí es su punto de reunión cuando se obtiene algún triunfo en su historia, ya sea de su selección o de algún equipo de su liga.
Parada Fuente de Cibeles. Parada Fuente de Cibeles cuenta con cerca de 9 millones de habitantes, pero contando el área metropolitana, hay alrededor de 21 millones. Esto la ha convertido en la tercera urbe más poblada del mundo. La ciudad se encuentra en el Valle de México, que es una cuenca rodeada de montañas, a una altitud de 2.240 metros y tiene una superficie de 1.495 kilómetros cuadrados. La ciudad fue fundada por los mexicas en el año 1325 y fue colonizada en 1521 por los españoles. Por ello es el reflejo del choque de estas dos grandes culturas. La Ciudad de México está catalogada como una ciudad global y es uno de los centros culturales, económicos y turísticos más importantes de América Latina.
A la izquierda se encuentra
So right now, I'm walking through this park. And this particular park is called Parque Hundido. It's got all kinds of vegetation, all kinds of trees, home to all kinds of critters like lizards and birds and squirrels and the like. Now, from what I understand, it's also home to a large number of cats, which I fully intend to seek out wherever they are. I guess a lot of cats are housed and fed here. So it's a pretty large park. You know, it might take me a little while to find them, but I'm gonna do my best. Now, the only other monument, significant landmark that I know of that houses or acts as a sanctuary to cats is in Rome. And that one is called the Largo di Torre Argentina. And every time I've been to Rome in the past, I've always had to stop there and see the cats. Now, from what I understand, that monument in Rome, that's also the site where Julius Caesar was assassinated. I don't know if there are any lizards. Maybe they're up in the trees at this time of the day. And as far as the cats, maybe I should have brought some tuna with me. But yeah, as you can see, it's a very nice park. This is one of the nicest parks I've ever been in. So I really think that this is supposed to be the cat sanctuary, but I don't see any cats in there at the moment. Maybe because of the whole pandemic situation, they don't have cats in there. I don't know. I bet the Romans have cats in their sanctuary right now. I'm a little bit disappointed. I wanted to see cats. It's kind of the reason why I came to this park. Not just for that. It's a nice park. And it seems that a lot of people like to come here and walk around, get a little bit of exercise and fresh air, away from all the chaos and the traffic and the smog in the city. Now, I don't think that my video is really going to do this park justice. I think this is going to have to be something that you see in person to really appreciate it. It is a beautiful park. So I don't think I'm going to have any luck with the cats, but, you know, oh well. Had a nice little walk in the park. I'd like to stop and get on the swing set to go down the slide, but it's about time for me to get back on the Tory bus. The stop's not too far from here. The bus didn't stop here. It stopped a ways down the road. I actually took an Uber to get back this way. So rather than walking from where I was at the park, Parque Unido, all the way down to the Torrey bus stop, and catching the bus from there to where I am right now, what I did, I took an Uber from the park where I was straight to here, which made a lot more sense because who knows how long I would have been waiting on that bus. It could have been a while, it could have been an hour, it could have been more than that, I don't know. So it just made sense to come straight here from the park. And where I am right now is the vibrant and historic area of Mexico City known as Coyoacán. But yeah, they got all kinds of nice little restaurants and cafes and everything, pastry shops. You know, the stuff you find in any tourist area, like souvenirs, all that stuff.
En Allende y Cuauhtémoc.
En el centro hay un chingo.
So people come to Coyoacán, not just for the town itself, but also for the Frida Kahlo Museum. And Frida Kahlo, she was an artist and she was an author, and she suffered a tragic accident early on in life. I mean, and if I remember correctly, that was an automobile accident. And that accident often left her confined to her bed. I think she eventually got to the point where she could walk with a cane. Anyways, she was married to this other artist. His name was Diego Rivera. And they had what seemed to be a rather turbulent, a rather unsteady, but you know, passionate marriage. Cut across the street here. But yeah, you know, he would cheat on her, and he would cheat on her again, and he would cheat on her again, and she would go back to him again and again and again. But anyways, I saw a movie not too long ago, and it was Salma Hayek who played Frida's character. But it was the guy who played Dr. Octavian in one of the Spider-Man movies. who played Diego Rivera's character, which is kind of funny, you know. He plays this mad scientist, and he uses this neurotechnology to create this web of arms, and this web of arms attaches to his spinal cord in the back of his neck, and eventually this web of arms, it taps into his brain and it takes over his entire body, and he goes on this complete path of destruction. But anyways, that movie I saw with Salma Hayek and that other guy, I don't know his name, that was a pretty good watch, you know, at least good enough to watch one time. But you know, I kind of think a better movie would be if Dr. Octavian came to Coyoacan and went on this path of destruction, you know, terrorizing everybody and destroying their romantic getaway. You know, he comes here, he eats all the guacamole. There's this guacamole shortage, and it sent the whole of Mexico into a revolution. Just one of my ideas. If you're like a big Hollywood producer or director, you know, I'll give it to you. Yeah, $1 million, I'll let you have it.
Entre otros dentro de la bolsa plástica, esto nos ayudará a mantener una cabina limpia y segura para todos. Por su atención y cooperación, gracias.
Estimados pasajeros, para su comodidad